Okay, we're here at Explorium Greendale, and this is a little video, short video to show you, talk a little bit about mint juleps and the components that go in them and how to make it properly, and a little history behind the mint julep. Before we do that, simple syrup is a key component, and simple syrup is kind of one of those things where it's very simple, but if it's not done right, it kind of wrecks the balance in a cocktail. If you look at this bottle, the syrup in this bottle is very thick, which is what we want. Not too thin, not too thick. So I'm going to show you how to make simple syrup the very easiest way. This is just a Cambro, which is the base of this jug. And I filled it up about 2/3 with sugar, just regular white sugar. And I'm going to use filtered water. So I'm just going to pull water out of the soda gun, and I'm going to fill up the Cambro. If you read a simple syrup recipe, a lot of times it says to boil it, whatever else. The boiling is really simply to sanitize it. It really doesn't affect the syrup at all. Really, all we need to do is dissolve the sugar. Yeah, is cold water the ideal way to dissolve sugar? No. But we really don't have a great source of filtered water in our place, unless you go into the brewery and pull water from the hot liquor tank. So all I'm doing is I'm just filling this jug up with water. 2/3 sugar, fill it up with water to nearly the top and shake it. And you will get a nice, thick, simple syrup. It doesn't take much more shaking than that. I would just take that, I would, put a piece of tape on here and date it. This simple syrup is good for about 7 days, and then we just throw it in the fridge. When you first grab this and mount this pour spout to this jug, before you take the lid off, you're gonna wanna shake it and make sure it's all dissolved. But then just mount the pour spout right to the top of this and you're good to go. Already, and this syrup will thicken up a little bit, but already they're very similar, and it's only taken me about 3 minutes to make this. So if you ever run out of simple syrup, this is the way to do it. So anyway, let me get the sticky off my hands, and let's talk about the mint julep for a minute. Mint juleps are traditional to the South, not necessarily Kentucky Derby, but they are traditional to the South. They have in modern times become synonymous with the Kentucky Derby. And so generally we get commemorative Derby cups to make mint juleps in. So I have a bunch of cups from Woodford Reserve from the 146th Kentucky Derby, which was last year. This year is the 147th. We're gonna use these for making our mint julep. A mint julep recipe is simply a sprig of mint mashed in the bottom of the glass, kind of similar to a mojito. We're taking the mint just by itself and expressing it to get the flavors out. Then it's a 1/2 ounce of simple syrup, and then 2.5 ounces of bourbon. For our mint juleps, we're going to use Old Forester as the general offering, and then Woodford Reserve bourbon as the premium option. So $8 or $10 for the 2 cocktails. Some other components that you might need, you're definitely going to need a mixing spoon, but you may not have seen this before. This is called a Lewis sack. Some people call it Lewis's sack, but also called a Lewis bag, but that's what it is. It's called a Lewis bag. It's basically a canvas sack, and the purpose of this sack is for filling with ice to make crushed ice. It generally comes with a little baseball bat looking masher, but this thing has 2 purposes. Number one, we use the small end to mash the mint in our cup, and the big end to break our ice. So those are the tools you need for the mint julep. In the next video, I'll actually demonstrate making the cocktail and show some of the finer points.